Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cuddyback, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, Ozonics, Redneck Blinds, Wasp Archery, and Realtree.
All right, we just managed to get up into the stand. Kind of got pinned down there. We had 4 does working off to the west of us on the edge of this food plot, and they actually bedded down, and that allowed us to get up into the stand undetected. They did actually work off to the west already, so. But like I said, we're set up now. We're actually in here tonight after that old 8-point. We'd been hunting him a couple nights in a row to the west of here on a different plot. We had him patterned coming out there. But unfortunately, those 2 hunts got ruined by the neighbor chainsawing. That kind of blew that bedding area both nights. So the reason we're in here tonight is we got a northwest wind. This food plot's pretty protected. We got a really strong northwest wind. It's about 25 degrees, or 25 mile per hour, and it's about 25 degrees as well. But I actually had pictures of this buck coming towards this bedding area this morning at 5 a.m. We got a little bedding area just to our west, and a lot of times when the deer are in there, they'll hit this food plot first before going anywhere else. So the hopes is that he's in there and he'll come out tonight and feed for a little bit and present us with a pretty good shot, and hopefully I can connect. But looking forward to it. Like I said, it's real cold. Temps dropped about 20 degrees this afternoon, so the deer should be up on their feet. Got a little bit of fresh snow, so stick with us. It should be a pretty fun night. No, it's good. Alright, well, it's about shooting time here. Was a fairly eventful night. Pretty slow, to be honest. I mean, we saw maybe 11 does, had a few does come out here in the plot and feed around, and then a lot of them kind of hung up in that little staging area up there. But bucks did not show again tonight. Partly it could have been done because, like I mentioned in the past, I'm able to bow hunt this property essentially by myself. There's some other guys that have permission, but nobody really bow hunts it. But then the group that my dad owns this ground with, they do shotgun hunt down here, and they actually, one of the guys texted me today while we were hunting and said they were starting to do some drives down here on the west end of this property, so I'm sure that didn't necessarily help anything. The few deer that we did see tonight kind of act spooked and came from that direction. Those 3 does actually, or 4 does, and the last 4 does we saw kind of came running in, so I don't know, they might have got spooked. And a mature buck like that, I'm sure, is not going to get up on his feet if he sees a lot of deer running. So that's going to do it for my shotgun season, I think, because unless we can get out Wednesday, I'm guessing they're going to push the rest of this property tomorrow, which will pretty much make it no good for me just sitting. So I'm going to check some cameras maybe tomorrow night or Wednesday. Might get one more crack at it, but other than that, it's going to be it for me till late season. I possibly will be taking Donovan out second season. He wants to try and shoot his first buck this year, and so I'd love to get a deer pattern for him then, but if I can't do that, I'll probably take him out at some point late season. So, I mean, it was obviously a frustrating shotgun season here for me trying to go after this buck, but not much you can do about it when you can't control everything. So, just the way it is, but we'll get after him. I've had a great season so far, and I'm looking forward to late season. So, stick with us. We should have some more updates here hopefully soon, and thank you for watching Midwest Whitetail.
Well, welcome back to another episode of the Heartland Show on Midwest Whitetail. Today is December 8th, and Brad and I just slipped in here for an afternoon hunt. Conditions aren't great. The temps are really high. It's almost 50 degrees here, and it's only 1:30 right now, 1:30, 2 o'clock. So, regardless with the temps, it feels good to be out. And there's a little excitement when we got in here today because I pulled up to the farm, and my buddy Zach Strelo, who I've talked about on the show before, who hunts out here with me, he shot the deer that I missed with my bow on November 7th. I'm super pumped for him. I love when he can get on a deer. With mentioning that deer down, we definitely need to mention a big change on the farm. The target buck, Javi Baez, that I've talked about over and over again this year. He was harvested about 2 weeks ago during that first firearm season in Illinois. My neighbor actually harvested him, and he's a great deer. So there's still lots of deer left, lots of good target deer. Tonight where we're sitting, I would expect we could see Shredder. And he's definitely a deer I would take with a gun, just based off history and maturity. So gonna settle down and see if we can't see anything here, but if not, we'll check in here with you guys in a little bit. Well, it's about 3:45 now, and been a slow hunt as expected up to this point. We saw some deer early, but that we weren't able to film, and then we had a coyote come in that we were going to shoot, and I will shoot if we see it again. But hopefully we can get it done late again this year like we did last year, and end this year good. But this has been a great year up to this point for sure, so I hope we can finish strong. But hopefully we can even finish tonight good yet. So gonna settle back in for the rest of this hunt, and if we have any action, we'll definitely bring it to you guys. But if not, that'll wrap up this hunt, and probably be catching back up with you next weekend. That'll be the plan. We got our first nice front coming through, so we'll probably catch up with you guys then, and have another update for you. But if we don't see you again tonight, thanks for watching this week's episode of the Heartland Show on Midwest Whitetail.